Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Igbo Girl Living Here. If you're coming across me or my channel for the first time, hi, you're welcome. I post faith, fashion, and lifestyle content here. I upload every Friday and every Sunday. So please join our community. We're the fashionable believers by subscribing to the channel, giving this video a thumbs up, clicking your bell icon so you're up to date whenever I have new content up, and sharing this video as well as all the others I have here on my channel. I'll be back to join you guys with today's video. So clearly you guys can see I enjoy the setup that I had here last week so much that I decided that I would try it for a second time to see if it is going to be one that I will be doing from now on. Thank you guys again for coming back to the channel. Again, welcome to the new subscribers. I hope you guys have been loving the content you've been seeing on my channel thus far. And if you haven't, please stick around. I'm sure you will still find something that you will enjoy. Also, you guys, please leave comments on the videos that I share. I don't get as many comments as I would like, but of course, please keep them respectful and let's just interact so that at least YouTube knows that there are people who are watching my channel, who engage with my content, and they would be able to recommend more of my videos to you. With that said, today I want to talk about, I'm sure you can tell by the title, reality TV. I think I've shared here that I have a mild obsession with reality TV. Now, when I used to watch in the past, it was purely for entertainment purposes and just to engage with all of the drama that these shows provide. But lately, I find myself, even though I still watch, I watch with a different lens. And that is pretty much to identify where there is this tug and pull tension between culture and Christianity or faith. Um, the different shows I watch everything from Vanderpump Rules to Love and Hip Hop to Bachelor, Bachelorette, Ready to Love. I think I've named and listed a couple of them here on this channel. Today, I want to talk about two of those shows in particular, and I selected those two because there has been some real drama attached to those two shows. And I think when I was deciding what to title this video, I think I decided that I would title it Reality TV and Toxic Culture. I played around with a couple of titles, but I think that's the one that stuck because what's happening, the backlash of what is happening with these two shows is toxic. So the first show I want to talk about is Black Ink New York, and if you guys watch that show, you know it's about black tattoo artists in New York giving other artists a platform to display their talent and just share their stories behind how and why they started tattooing. That show was spearheaded by Caesar. I think his full name is Caesar Emmanuel. And, he has a team of artists who come along on that show with him. They ride with him, and each one has their own individual stories. Now, cast members have come and gone, and a new season just started, I think, a week ago, with Caesar not on the show. At the end of last season, there was an issue with someone taking a video of him, I guess, hitting a dog or beating a dog, whatever. He was, found attacking or abusing, that's the word, a dog. And I just want to touch on the backlash that he received and that show received because of that singular incident. Now, while I'm not here saying that anyone should be abusing animals or people, I think the consequence that he suffered was too extreme. The punishment did not fit the crime, in my opinion. And the response or the reaction from people towards this man was so toxic that the network decided to part ways with him. This is a man who has been doing this show for years, who has brought on so many people on the show who would have otherwise probably never been known. He has given them a platform, he has put money in their pockets, and has allowed them to go on, and some of them to start other businesses and indulge in their other passions that is bringing income to them. And we've just thrown this man away who's responsible for doing that because you found him doing something that culture frowns at. Where is his opportunity for restitution? Where is his opportunity to apologize to people or explain his side of the story? I think he did give a side of his side of the story, and I think that was, he said that that particular dog that he was recorded as abusing was actually attacking other smaller dogs, and he was trying to separate that, fight from happening because the bigger dog was hurting the smaller dogs. Did we not hear that explanation, or did we just decide that because he was doing this, we don't care his reasoning? And this is why I say the culture is so toxic to where it's like people have the ability and the power to decide how a person or a celebrity's life or means of livelihood, you can decide whether it continues or whether it stops. And it seems like this fascination with celebrity is so, it's not healthy. It's so unhealthy that we're, even though people in one breath may be praising them and everybody wants to be associated with them, we're leaving all these positive comments on their posts or whatever. It's like we're waiting for these people to mess up. And the minute that they do, it's this mob mentality of attack, attack, attack. Cancel him, strip away his platform. We're not supporting him anymore. We're not going to continue to put money in his pockets if he's the kind of person who abuses an animal. Really? Is anybody above mistakes? You don't know what you would have done had you been the one in that position. And if we're not careful, for Christians, people like me who watch this show, and even though, I don't belong to this group of people, where it's like we're quick to just cancel a person. Now, outside of you murdering someone, sexually assaulting someone, or harming someone in any way, I feel like nobody is above mistakes. We all make mistakes. We're all guilty of doing something that, looking back on it, we're not proud that we did. And even the Bible talks about forgiveness and allowing people to make restitution for the things that they've done wrong. How is he supposed to come and let you people know he's not this person, or he regrets his actions, or, just give him an opportunity to make amends? If we were able to do that with someone like Nick Cannon, who insulted a whole, group of people, why are we not extending that same courtesy or same forgiveness to Caesar? It's like we prioritize the lives of animals over the lives of human beings. And that is such a toxic, unhealthy way to view things. I want to share a quick scripture with you about forgiveness and restitution. I found it in Exodus. There's two, but I have notes I want to share. Exodus 22, verse 5 and 6. If an animal is grazing in a field or vineyard and the owner lets it stray into someone else's field to graze, then the animal's owner must pay compensation from the best of its own grain or grapes. Verse 6. If you are burning thorn bushes and the fire gets out of control and spreads into another person's field, destroying the sheaves or the uncut grain or the whole crop, the one who started the fire must pay for the lost crop. So when I was reading this scripture, first of all, it was an animal that was the whole cause of this problem. He has explained why he did what he did. Allow the man to come back on his platform and make restitution. Let him show him as, supporting animal causes, show him donating to animal shelters, show him showing some kind of restitution, but you just want to cancel the person. How is he supposed to learn and grow from that? You don't give people the opportunity to change. You don't give people the opportunity to do better. You just cancel them. It's like you throw them away because they made a mistake. How would you feel if that was what happened to you? You made a mistake, and because of that one mistake you made in a moment where you weren't thinking rationally, or you were just acting on impulse, and people just decided they were going to throw you away based off of that one mistake or indiscretion, I'm not sure you would like it either. But it's like we're so excited to see people fail, to see people's lives and livelihood destroyed, that when something like this happened, is such a mob toxic mentality. Cancel. We don't want anything to do with them. And networks like this are supporting and promoting and encouraging that. Why? It's so toxic. And then his castmates, some of them were quick to disassociate themselves from him. Disassociate yourself from his actions because they were wrong, not from the man who has called you to eat from his table. And I was really disappointed with at least one or two of those people who were so quick to just, like I said, throw the man away. Why? Where everybody's just concerned about them, about putting food on their table, about the money going into their pockets. And that is why we are living in a world where people don't care about other people, because everybody is so consumed and concerned with themselves that something like this can happen to another human being. And rather than be empathetic, reach out to that person. You don't know what that person is going through. You don't know what that reaction was a result of. Would we have preferred if he took a gun and killed himself, or worse, killed other people? You saw him doing something to a dog. And yes, there are some people on that show who are animal lovers. And it's like they can't fathom that he would do something like that to an animal. Really? That dog's life is more important than the man's life, who also had, you knew he was going through issues with his daughter and his baby's mother. We saw that whole thing play out. And we're just going to discard that man was going through something that was weighing so heavy on him. And we're just going to throw him away because he was doing something to a dog that we did not agree with. I think we need to do better as a culture. We need to do better as a people. Those people who are in power, like the networks who can decide the fate of a person, they need to do better and set better examples for people, because we cannot keep doing this to people. I think it's wrong. It's toxic. Put yourself in his shoes. Let's do better. That's what I wanted to talk about with Black Ink and the whole drama surrounding Caesar Emanuel. Let me know if you share my thoughts or my sentiments in the comment section below. Again, remember, let's keep it respectful. I have not taken shots at anybody in particular. I'm just saying that as a culture, we need to do better and not be so quick to throw a person away because of one mistake. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Okay, guys. So the second show I want to really touch on is Vanderpump Rules. This season was a big one, and I've been watching for a while now. Now, this is the kind of show that really has no value to it, in my opinion. Is just purely for entertainment and drama. It is just a show of young Caucasian guys and girls who work for Lisa Vanderpump at her restaurants, and it just the show chronicles the lives of her, bartenders and servers who have over the years have matured out of that role and are all just now on their own doing different things, but are just still a part of the show. This show is toxic. Why I watch Why I started watching, like I said, was for drama and for entertainment, but this season in particular was heavy. And if you don't watch, the long and short is that Tom Sandoval and Ariana Madix, who have been in a long term relationship for almost a decade, this season saw Tom have an affair with one of his other castmates, Raquel, and Ariana just happened to find out about it because she came across a uh, message on Tom's phone. And so the whole affair was exposed, and the backlash has been epic. Okay. Um, what will I say about this show? And about what has, I'm not, now, I think this is what I should say first. I am not in support of the affair. I am not in support of Tom and Raquel treating Ariana in that way, because Raquel was her friend. And Raquel was having issues with another castmate who was also Ariana's friend in the person of Katie, she was she would stick up for Raquel. When Raquel was also having issues with Lala, she would stick up for Raquel. She refused to throw Raquel away the way that Katie and Lala were doing. So for Raquel to turn around and do what she did to Ariana obviously was unforgivable for Ariana. That is the person who was cheated on. Now, while I understand her friends and castmates feeling enraged for her, I feel like people are missing what was happening with Raquel. Let's not forget that Raquel was in a relationship with a person who had an overbearing, big, many times toxic personality. And Raquel was not one who was a confident, I would say, woman to begin with. She was not a woman who had a voice to begin with. Her personality was so demure, so like toned down, that her ex, James Kennedy, was so overbearing, so big of a personality that he overshadowed her. And she was lost in this relationship with this person. We witnessed him many times be verbally abusive, not just towards her, but to other castmates as well. He would just say things to their faces and in his confessionals. And it would be like, why are we not reprimanding this person for talking to people this way? That's one. Secondly, we also know that she was a pageant girl when we were introduced to her. I don't know what season now. She was a pageant girl, and her whole life was that. So last season, she ends up breaking off her engagement with this person who she's been with for so long. And she's aged out of the pageant business, so she can no longer compete. And we did see her this season actually break down from saying that she doesn't know who she is anymore outside of the pageant and outside of this relationship that she was in for so long. She was having clearly mental health struggles, and those people who were her friends missed her obvious cries for help. Now, I say her friends because I think the only people who were her friends really were Sheena and Ariana and maybe Tom Schwartz. rather than sit down with her and ask her questions to see if she was really okay and help her by, encouraging her to go to therapy, to talk to somebody. Rather than do that, they were encouraging her to date and to go sleep with people and just have fun because she had just come out of this relationship, so she could do whatever she was that was the next thing for her to do. Really, as her friends, I feel they dropped the ball. Now, you can argue that Raquel is a grown woman. She should not, she doesn't need her friends to do da 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 da. But when you're having mental health issues, that's when you need your friends the most. People outside looking in to tell you there's a problem. When her ex fiance, James Kennedy, was obviously struggling with his alcohol issues, it took Lala, who had also been an addict, suffering from alcoholism, to tell him, yo, you are bugging. And all of this stuff you're doing is not normal. You need to go and get help because you're abusing alcohol. And these are the manifestations of your addiction. Why couldn't they see that with Raquel? They just wanted to hate the girl because she made a comment to Lala about being a mistress. She made out with Tom Schwartz. Those were the manifestations of her mental breakdown. Think about it. Someone who claims that these people are her friends, and she goes around making out with Tom Schwartz, and she's kissing, having an affair with Tom Sandoval. She's acting out. She is acting out. She's having a mental breakdown. She does not know how to process what her life has become outside of her relationship that failed and outside of not being able to compete in pageants anymore. And she needed her friends there to help her, and they did not. And so she just acted out. It's the same way with other people who have mental health issues. Rather than go to the proper channels for help, they act out. They commit suicide and they go out and commit mass shootings. Would we have preferred Raquel to do that, to commit suicide? Why are we quick to just we've jumped on this issue and we are crucifying Raquel. And I say we loosely because I'm not part of that group, because I'm not crucifying the girl. I'm crucifying what she did. I'm not crucifying her. She was obviously crying out for help and she didn't get the help. And so you could just tell, it was obvious to me that this girl needs help. Someone should have told her to go see a therapist. Someone should have taken her to go see a therapist and not sit there and encourage her to be making out with people. She's making out with Garcelle's son. She's making out with Schwartz. She's having an affair with Sandoval. Isn't that an obvious cry for help? What else did you all need? And now that this secret has come out, now we want to crucify her. Now we want to label her all kinds of unprintable names. I'm scared to watch the reunion, guys, because I hear it's been all over the news that it was brutal. Now for Ariana, I get it. She is allowed to feel how she feels because this was just betrayal to the 10th degree. And for Tom Sandoval, I will say that he was kind of the predator in this case. Whatever he was going through, fine, his issues or his relationship with Ariana was not what he wanted it to be. He should have broken up with her like everyone said. I agree with that. And not go out and cheat on her with a friend that Ariana considered to be a close one. He just preyed on that girl, preyed on her vulnerability, preyed on the fact that she was struggling and she was not exactly the most confident, strong woman. He preyed on the fact that this is a woman who is still trying to find her identity. And he used her, in my opinion, to figure out whatever was going on with him and his relationship. There's a scripture I found in Proverbs 17 that stuck with me. I think it's profound, and it's in verse 9. It says, "Love prospers when a fault is forgiven, but dwelling on it separates close friends. And that is exactly what we're doing. Culture and the castmates, they're dwelling on this issue like you would think that somebody died with the way they're carrying on. Listen, Ariana lost her grandmother, right? She lost her beloved dog. I did not see this outpouring of just support and love for the girl. When a human being died, someone that was close family that she loved so dearly, I didn't see anybody come there giving, her whole table littered with flowers and friends gathered round to sympathize. But that was what was happening with this. Like, it was like you would think somebody died with the way they were carrying on. And that anger from the other castmates, warranted, yes, but not to the degree that it was, at least for those people who call themselves her friends. They missed the cue. They are as much to blame for this because you're encouraging the girl, make out with this person, make out with this person. Yeah, okay, we're not expecting her to go make out with her friend's man, but what do you expect from somebody who is not mentally okay? They are unable to make good, sound judgment and decisions, and that is clear with people who struggle with mental health to the degree that Raquel was suffering. That is why we had the mass shooting in Allen the other weekend and all the mass shootings that we had. The same recurring thing, mental health struggles. Your ability to make sound judgments is inhibited. You cannot do it. And you need the people who call themselves your friends or your family to come out and tell you that you are acting crazy and you need to go get help. And they need to support you. But everybody dropped the ball. And now we want to crucify Raquel for her bad judgment. Another scripture I want to share is in Ephesians 4, verse 32. Okay. It says, instead, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God through Christ has forgiven you. I don't see any of that happening for Raquel. The girl, I think they said she checked herself into a mental health facility, and I heard her castmates are calling the place she checked herself into a spa. Really? You just want to hate this girl. Katie, I know, just wants to hate her. Lala just wants to hate her because Raquel wronged them. But I feel like as much as Raquel is to blame for her decisions, I feel like I said, her friends, and let's also put some blame on her ex, James. He is not a good person. And I think everybody's just glad that the storyline is not on, the spotlight is not on them and their issues. Everything is now on Raquel. So we're happy to pitch our tent there and just pick away at this girl. We're forgetting that Lala had her own thing. We're forgetting that Katie chose to divorce her husband. We don't want to talk about that and what led to that. And we don't want to talk about how Katie was such a toxic person before, on her own and within her group of friends who are off the show now. We don't want to talk about any of that stuff. And again, James was not a nice person. He's verbally abusive, even till now. And we can see that he was just so hurt and his ego was so bruised that Raquel ended the relationship the way she did at the reunion at the last season. He is not over that. And he is determined to make her pay. And any opportunity he had to say something crazy to her, to just make her feel like she meant nothing to him, he did that. And he's using his new girlfriend, Allie, to do that. Calling her the love of his life after how many weeks? Really? He was doing that to rub it in Raquel's face. That he can move on. He don't feel any type of way about her ending the relationship the way she did, giving him back his ring at the reunion in front of the whole world. He's pained by that. So he's excited that now Raquel has gotten herself in this mess that she's gotten herself into, and so we can all just ignore James and his toxic behavior and his toxic attitude, and everybody crucify Raquel. Toxic. Let us do better. Let us do better as a people, because nobody's above mistakes. Nobody's bigger than having a mental health issues. We all go through it. Many of us, not to the degree that other people do, to where they make such horrible decisions that affect so many people. But I think we can show a little more grace, show a little more kindness and forgiveness to people when they make mistakes, because we would want the same thing extended to us if we were the ones who were making these mistakes. And we do. But theirs is magnified because they're in front of a screen. And yeah, it's what they chose. They knew, and that's what we like to say. But at the end of the day, these are still people. This is still somebody's child. This is still somebody's sibling. And let's not crucify a person or push them further into their mental health struggle and darkness because we're upset that she had an affair with Tom Sandoval. We need to stop and we need to get over it. We need to not be part of the problem. That's it. That was the video today. I just felt in my spirit that I needed to just give my 2 cents on this, and there you have it. Let me know your thoughts about either of these 2 shows and anything I've said here today in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think? Leave those in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.